So currently, the Seattle Seahawks are 7-2 with Sam Darnold at quarterback. So I thought, why not go ahead and add to that Seattle Seahawks roster? And we added the Legion of Boom. Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, Richard Sherman, and Brandon Browner. I could have added even more. We could have went with Jeremy Lane, who's also technically in there, Bobby Wagner, Cliff Averill, but we decided to just go with the straight up four of them because, listen, I think those four guys can very nicely take care of the NFL. Okay, Seattle's already 7-2. Now, as always, when it comes to these videos, I do have to force advance all the way up to week 11. So, for example, you can see right here, it does have every game up to week 11 is force advanced. So, it's all up to date and everything is correct. Let's go. Rams game. All right. Come on, baby. Woo-hoo. Win that game. 1-9 Tennessee Titans. How do you lose to the 1-9 Tennessee Titans? That one doesn't even make logical sense to me, bro. You have arguably the best defense in the game. 99 yards for Sam Darnold. And Cam Ward threw 106 yards. I will say, I think the Legion of Boom definitely is making their name set right away. Being able to put up those type of numbers, 106 yards, that's a Legion of Boom right there, but apparently Sam Darnold couldn't be the champion we need him to be. They beat the Vikings by 3 points. Then they play the 6-6 Falcons. They lose. They got killed by the Falcons. We're going to do multiple Sims in this video, by the way. They beat the Colts. So, wait, is this the playoffs? Hold up. No, I'm an idiot. We're not even close. Well, we are close, but week 17. I don't know why. I thought that I simmed too far for a second. But they play the Niners in the final week. They lose to the Niners. So they go 12-5. So not as sexy as you want it to be. They lost 3 games the remainder of the season. It is what it is. Sam Darnold put up some good numbers. Kenneth Walker put up some good numbers. Jackson Smith-Njigba is Jackson Smith-Njigba. But now I'm curious. 3 interceptions for Chancellor. 2. Actually, that's not Earl. I don't know why I saw it. I saw E and thought Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas put up 2. And Sherman actually did not put up any. And Brandon Browner didn't put up any either. Unless I just skipped right past Brandon Brown. So Browner put up 2, Earl put up 2, and Chancellor put up 3. And Sherman put up none. Which, I'm actually kind of surprised by that, to be honest. I expected Sherman to be the best. 11th ranked overall-wise. Okay, so I kind of expected more. Am I crazy? I expected more. So they lost 3 games. Titans, Falcons, and 49ers. 49ers is a respectful loss. I don't think the Falcons or the Titans are considered respectful losses, but, you know, you go off, King. And the Falcons are currently sitting at 10-7, but they missed the playoffs. That's what's so weird about this year. You can go 10-7 and miss the playoffs. Not like previous years. I feel like every single year now, it's the threshold of what your record has to be has to be better and better and better. Like, it's insane. Anyway, they beat the Bucks 20-14. Donald put up 191. Baker put up 191 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker went to fluff off. That's great. Looking at this, we had 2 interceptions for the Bucks, 0 for the Seattle Seahawks. So kind of disappointing, but they did win, and that's all that matters. Now they play the Rams. They lost to the Rams 31-17. Disappointing. Disappointing to say the least. Oh, Kyron Williams, 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. Maybe I should have added Cliff Averill and Bobby Wagner. I feel like that might have helped out a bit because the Legion of Boom didn't get any interceptions there in the playoffs. They got interceptions in the regular season, but in the playoffs, they didn't really eat as much, which is kind of disappointing, and I kind of expected more. But again, like I said, this is the thing, though, whenever I do add these like Hall of Fame defenses or Hall of Fame players to the rosters, it's a weird dynamic because you expect them to come in right away and be absolute superstars, right? Take over, be dominant, be insane. But reality-wise, that's not really the case. If you take these guys, even in their prime, and you just put them on a team in Week 11, they haven't played any of the season yet. This is the first game of the season, Week 11. They had to play the next 7 games, and then they had to play the playoffs. They're probably going to look pretty ugly, right? They're probably not going to look too sexy. Now, in this franchise, the second sim is going a lot better than the first sim. This does happen sometimes. So the second sim sometimes can be a lot better than the first sim. And so far, baby, they still lost to the 49ers. And not only that, they got killed by the 49ers. They won every single game, but they lost the last game to the Niners. That's even more disgusting, bro. 3 touchdowns, 309 yards for Glock Purdy. Holy. Fred Warner had an interception. All right, Sam Darnold. Can we not, lose to the Niners every single sim? Kenneth Walker is a freaking dog. Literally, his nickname is K9. All right, so Sherman this time had 4 interceptions in that short span. Cam Chancellor had 3. Earl Thomas had 1, and Brandon Browner had 1. So this time, the whole Legion of Boom got interceptions. 8th ranked offense. Defensively, they were 9th. Okay. Nice. All right. They get a first round bye for obvious reasons because they're the number 1 seed. Going 14-3 kind of gives you that number 1 seed mentality. And let's see, Rams wild card. Boy, they lose 27-10. Why do they keep losing to the Rams? 2 interceptions. Who got the 2 picks? It was Brandon Browner and it was Neiman. Okay. Wasn't Sherman or Thomas. Actually, kind of ironic. Anyway, Puka Nacua. Oh, yeah, I forgot about him. All right, we're going to do one more sim. Why the fluff not? Why the fluff not? All right, as always, for good luck and measurements and cock and balls torture, we're going to just go ahead and do best team available just to get that good luck in there. Okay. And now we're going to go week 11. Come on. Come on, baby. All right, we beat the Rams. I love how we always beat the Rams in the regular season. Get to the postseason, and that's when things become belly up. Lost to the Vikings by 3 points. That's disappointing. Disappointing because that's the revenge game for Sam Darnold, and, Lost to the Colts this time. Okay, that's 2 losses. Lost to the Rams again. That's 3. We lost to the Panthers. Ugh. Wait, what? We missed the playoffs with an 11-6 record. I don't know what. That's annoying. That's very annoying. I kind of forget. Yeah, you literally could not make the playoffs with 11-6. Sherm 4 interceptions, Chancellor 2, Brandon Browner 2, and Earl Thomas had 0. Interesting. 16th ranked offense. What were we defensively? 8th. Okay. That is so annoying to miss the playoffs with an 11-6 record. Like I said, though, that's very possible. It's a thing now. Every year it seems like it's harder and harder to make the playoffs, even when you have great records. These teams nowadays are getting better and better. So, all right, we're just going to sim right to the playoffs. You know what, actually? Nah, we're going to sim right to the Super Bowl. Let's go. We're going to sim right to the Super Bowl. No messing around. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know anything other than the Rams lose and the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl. There we go. This is it. Show me Seattle. That's Philly. Seahawks beat the Rams in the playoffs, but then they beat the Rams, they beat the Packers, and then they got killed by the Eagles. Okay. So, playoffs, Chancellor had 2 interceptions on Stafford, which gave them the win. They destroyed Jordan Love, which after watching last night, I don't think that's really saying much. Browner had an interception on Love, and then they lost to Jalen Hurts. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Chiefs win.